There's a whole music industry hiding in all kinds of cities around the world that most musicians don't even know about. Studios doing millions of dollars in revenue every single year, and they're not recording albums or artists. These studios work with brands, their commercials, campaigns, and content, and most of them don't even have a sign on the door. Let me tell you about how the money actually gets to the musicians. See, every musician usually hears the same advice. Build a following, post every day, feed the algorithm. But Uncle Z wants to ask the question that usually doesn't get asked. To what end? You work hard to get 1,000 fans so you could do what? Try to squeeze pennies from them from singles that they can stream for free? 100,000 songs are uploaded every day to Spotify. That's not a career. That's a lottery ticket. There's a whole music industry that's hidden in major cities around the world. In unmarked buildings, in unmarked offices, there are recording studios that are literally doing millions of dollars a year in revenue. They're definitely not making this revenue producing artists or recording albums. I want you to think about Bach. Bach never sold a single, never released a single, never streamed a single. No Spotify, no record deal, no music libraries, no sync. How did he do it? He was commissioned by patrons who paid for his craft. Hundreds of years later, this is the paradigm and the path that's more relevant than ever. The only thing that's changed is the patron. Fun little fact, behind me is one of the head offices of T-Mobile, the giant telecommunication provider. That gives you a hint as to who the patrons are today. Indeed, folks, today the patrons of arts are brands. They need to get attention, and they need the help of creative craftspeople to help them get that attention. I'm not sure if you realize, but collectively brands spend over $1 trillion a year on marketing and advertising. A huge amount of this content needs original music. The big misconception with musicians is that brands get their music from a music library. But big brands can't actually afford to do that, and it's not for financial reasons. It's because they don't want to show up in their content with a piece of music that their competition might be using. I want you to think of it this way. When you need a suit that fits perfectly, you don't grab one off the rack at a chain store. You go where? You go to the tailor. A real person, a person who will take your measurements, the certain kind of material that will express your unique personality, a suit that will be an extension of your brand. And as far as the survival of remarkable craftspeople goes, bespoke is the key word. Something that hasn't existed before, something that is specifically made from scratch, specifically for the person or the brand or the business who is commissioning it. That is the way that businesses and brands will ensure that they're telling a unique story, and that is the way remarkable craftspeople will ensure their existence for a long time to come. You see, the truth is, nobody digs through a music library in order to find a track that kind of fits, because when it has to fit like a glove, they go to a person. You see, this is everything that we stand for in our music production company and in the academy, where we mentor musicians just like you how to be that person. So here's how the money flows. Behind me are a bunch of buildings with a bunch of brands and ad agencies. The brand will hire an ad agency because the ad agency has an idea of how the brand should tell their story. The agency doesn't actually create the campaigns, commercials, or content. They have to hire production companies that specialize in different things. So a film production company, an editing company, a visual effects company, a coloring company, and one of those companies, I want you to pay attention now, is a music production company that we commonly call a music house. Studios that exist only for the purpose of creating original song scores and sounds for campaigns, commercials, and content. And they're hired by these ad agencies. Here's another important part I want you to pay attention to. These music production companies hire freelance musicians to create this music. They don't dig through music libraries. Most of the music that you see on most of the campaigns, commercials, and content that come from brands is music that will be coming from a music production company that hires a freelance musician just like you sitting in their home studios, no pants needed. So the money flows down from the brand to the agency, to the music production company, to you. Your job then is to connect up. Develop a relationship with a music producer like me at a music production company. A music producer like me will have relationships with creative directors at agencies, and the creative directors at agencies will be winning the business from the brands. That's the chain. That is the hidden path. So, how do you actually get the jobs, and what does the money look like in practice? It's very simple, guys. Once you get to know, let's say, 10 music producers like me at music houses in cities all over the world, and let's say each of them sends you one job a month, meaning they ask you to demo on a commercial, a brand campaign, or a piece of content. The industry fee for a demo is $300. They're going to pay you $300 whether your music makes it or not to the final campaign. Now, if you get the final, and that happens about 10% of the time, even to the best composers in our business, then you get what's called a final fee. And the final fee will range from anywhere from $2,000 to $10,000 and beyond. I've seen some of my students whose first job netted them a year's worth of rent, 18,000 Great British pounds for a sound logo. But let us say you get 10 demos a month from 10 producers and you get one final a month. That's $6,000 a month times 12. You're making $72K a year, and you're not even working full time. The average time to create a demo for those who are really skilled at music is about 2 hours. So if you do 10 demos a month, you're working 20 hours a month. You're making $3K from the demos, $3K for a final, $6K a month for 20 hours of work. Not too shabby. There's hundreds of music houses around the world that exist solely for the purpose of creating music for big brands, their commercials, campaigns, and content. Now, here's the most beautiful thing about this is there's absolutely no content treadmill. The best composers in our business who are actually making a full-time living from this, they have like zero social media following. They don't need to go viral. They don't need to be creating content. This is not how the game works. This game is truly about connecting with the right people, music producers at music production companies. And then when you get the opportunity to write your first demo, you over-deliver, you give them goosebumps, and you give them no good reason not to call you again. What we're really talking about is just making friends with people on the inside of the business who will give you a shot. Everything will be clear after you deliver on that first opportunity. The one unfortunate part about our business is the deadlines are deadly. You don't have much time to deliver the music, so I gotta get going. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it valuable. And if you have any questions about our business, feel free to put them in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one.